Keep your figure, Mrs. Benson.
I really wish you'd stop calling me Mrs. Benson.
It's your name, though, isn't it, Mrs. Benson?
Yes? But you say it as if you don't mean it.
I'm sorry. I suppose I can call you Jill. It is more friendly. I'll try to say it as though I mean it. Now, Jill, you were telling me about your childhood.
Oh. I was?
Must have been so interesting having so many fathers.
Well, actually, yes, it was. Why don't we just get to the point, Mrs. Baker? I know what it is anyways.
You do?
Mm-hmm. I know you didn't ask me here so you could just discuss my childhood or to tell me how pretty I am.
I'm interested to know what you and Donnie might have in common. He likes you very much.
Well, I really like him. I think he is the most beautiful person that I've ever met. I mean, can you imagine going through life with never being able to see anything? Not a flower or a painting or a Christmas card. I mean, I want to die and he wants to live. I mean, he really wants to live. He ain't even kid about it. I think he's fantastic.
Then you would want what's best for him, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Now we're to it. I knew this wasn't a free lunch. All right. I guess you want me to tell him that he should come home and live with you.
Donnie was happy at home until that Linda Fletcher put ideas in his head about a place of his own.
Well, I think that you believe that you're the only person who can make him happy. There are none so blind as those who will not see. There. I can quote Dylan Thomas and a little Donnie Darko.
You constantly astonish me.
Well, we women of the world can do that.
It's funny how like Linda you are. Donnie certainly is consistent with his girls.
Oh, my goodness. It's after 3.
I'll get the check, waiter. Check. I hope you won't tell Don that we had lunch together.
Okay. But if he asks, I won't lie.
He won't ask.
Why do you call him Donnie?
Well, that's his name. Don't I say it as though I mean it?
Yes, but he hates being called Donnie.
He's never mentioned it.
Of course he has. You just don't listen. There are none so deaf as those who will not hear. You could go on and make up a whole lot of these, couldn't you? There are none so frail as those who will not walk. There are none so thin as those who will not eat.
Do you honestly think it's a good idea for Donnie to live in that place alone?
Yes, I do. I really, truly, honestly believe that he needs to live in his apartment. And besides, he's not alone. I'm right next door.
For how long? Do you have a lease on that apartment?
No,
So you could move out tomorrow if you wanted to.
that's right.
You couldn't sustain a marriage for longer than 6
My
days.
marriage doesn't concern you.
Didn't concern you either, did it?
Well, yes, it did.
Have you thought about what marriage to a blind boy would be like? I'm sure not even your mother has covered that territory.
You just leave my mother out of this.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were so touchy about her.
I'm not touchy about her. I just don't want to talk about her.
All right, we won't. Let's talk about you. You've seen Donnie at his best in that place that he memorized. He's memorized how many steps to the drugstore, to the delicatessen. I'm sure you were very impressed by that. But I have seen him in strange surroundings. He didn't know I was watching. I've seen him lost. I've seen him panic. He needs someone who will stay with him and not just for 6 days.
Nothing serious is going to happen between Don and I. I'm not built that way.
Donnie is built that way.
Oh, please stop worrying. We're just having fun.
Fun? Fun? That's how it started with Linda Fletcher, just fun. He fell in love with her, and he will fall in love with you, and then what happens?
I don't know.
Well, I do know. Stop this now before you hurt him.
What about you? Aren't you hurting him?
I can't. No, I only irritate him. But you can hurt him. And the longer you stay, the harder it will be when... Let him come home with me. You go have your kicks with someone who won't feel them when you leave.
No. I think you can hurt him, maybe you more than anybody else. Look, I think you deserve all the credit in the world for raising such a marvelous guy, but raising a son, even one that is blind, is not a lifetime occupation.
You don't know anything.
The more you help him, the more you hurt him. It was Linda Fletcher, not you, who gave him what he needed the most, and that was confidence in himself. You are always fixated on the negative. You are always thinking about what he can't do instead of what he can do, what he needs instead of what he wants. Have you even read his music? Have you even seen his music? I bet you didn't even know that he writes. You might very well be right about me, Mrs. Baker. I'm not the ideal woman for Dawn. But neither are you. So if I'm going to be telling anybody that they need to be going home, it's going to be you, Mrs. Baker. You go home.